Living in this world ain't easy. It can seem hard sometimes. Sometimes people don't feel me, and it's hard to find a peace of mind. But I am more than a conqueror.
Well, bless the Lord, it is a beautiful day because on set with me are the brothers that I love so dear to my heart from Phi Beta Sigma, my frat brothers. They're here to empower you, to encourage you, but for the men, they're going to do exceptionally well to tell you to man up. It's time to be about your Father's business. My brothers, thank you all so very much for joining us, Mr. Brian Ferguson and Mr. Kendrick Bailey. I tell you, God is good, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Yes,
When you
ma'am.
look in the sky, what colors do you see?
Oh, blue.
And
wonderful.
white.
Blue and white.
It's
Blue and
beautiful all day, every day. I'm telling you. Well, you guys have been on a mission and you've been hitting the ground running. And I'm telling you, Project Impact is taking off.
Absolutely.
So if you would, just tell us what it is, the goal and the vision, and what you're doing in the Golden Triangle area.
Actually, we really want to impact the entire state of Mississippi.
Amen.
We started in the Golden Triangle area. It was kind of a vision for us to just give back to the community. It's just so often that it's almost complicated to give back. So we wanted to start something that give people the opportunity to just open up their hearts, give back, give them a platform to just be able to give a gift to someone, regardless of what it is. So our goal is to just give people the opportunity, to give them a platform. We started this whole mission of help us help. So we just wanted to have a platform to allow people to just come in, give back, pour out their hearts to their communities, and we wanted to give them that motivation. But like I said earlier, it's complicated to give back sometimes. But we wanted to give them a platform, something that would allow them to donate, give their time, anything that they could to their own personal community, because we just believe that being able to impact your community is the most effective way to give back. So.
And there's so much that goes on in the community. Don't you see that, Kendrick, of you all impacting?
And with Project Impact, we also wanted to give to the individuals that don't necessarily always have the opportunity to receive the benefits from some scholarships. And so we target a lot of individuals that do community service. They may not have a 4.0 GPA. They may be the ones that have the 3.0 GPAs, and we want to empower them. We want to encourage future leaders, and we want to give people opportunities to grow. Both of us was fortunate enough to be in the military, and that helped pay for our college education. But everyone, doesn't travel that route, and so we want to show people that there are multiple avenues to actually, take advantage of, to empower, to inspire, and to grow, and then to give back and encourage them to want to do the same thing. So Project Impact is definitely, making its stamp in the community, and we definitely want to take this as far as we can go to reach as many people as possible, and to encourage them to follow us, and we'll lead the next generation into a prosperous area.
That's awesome, because when you say you're making an impact, that means that you're forgetting about yourself and you're giving of yourself. And so many times I've seen people, they want to be in the forefront, the newspaper, they want to be on the news, but what about the times when you're behind the scene, praying for that young man or helping him to get some shoes or giving them school supplies? I'm sure you all have seen times where you look back and you say, I'm just grateful to be in a place, in a position to be a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think about, if you think about your life, everybody has these outliers that happen, and some people may not ever remember or realize the things that happened in their past to allow them to be able to be the man or woman they are today. I definitely remember mine, so I think it's a moment of reflection for us. We look back at our lives, and we're from the same area in the Delta and Glen Allen, Mississippi. So it's those times where you can look back and think about the people, not just your parents. I love my parents, but it was always somebody that you think of that gave something, if it was water or $5 to go buy something. but and also encouragement. I think there were so many people that said, "Hey, you can do this. You know,
Yeah.
you can move out. You can do this." And we wanted to be part of that. And we realized sometimes that takes a committee of people. So we wanted to get back to that whole concept of it takes a village.
Yes.
But we want to grow this village as big as we can get it so that we can have as many people as possible just to touch it and be able to just pour out whatever gift that they have and
Yeah.
help somebody that they may not know that just may become the next, president of the United States. You never know. So if we could be a part of just making the next generations
Yeah.
better, we are excited about that.
And you're
So,
making that stamp, that impact.
Absolutely.
What I say, making a mark in society that can't be erased.
Absolutely.
And back in the day, you said something of building a village. It wasn't an option. If you needed sugar,
No.
you just go knock on the door, or they would yell. Being in the
Absolutely.
country, it was just a realistic thing. Kendrick, you wanted to kind of piggyback off what he was saying.
Oh, definitely. So one of the things we like to do, we like the partnership and we like the collaboration. And like I said, coming from the family of a sharecropper, my grandfather, and then education advocates and my other grandfather,
Yeah.
we learned that education was important, but hard work was important, and so we try to instill those values in the people that we want to serve the community. Because for us, this is something we do as for a service.
Yeah.
We serve others to teach them the process, and once they see that we're making a significant impact, more people are more likely to follow
Wow.
and commit themselves with their time, with their kids and their family, and then it just grows into something that's magnificent.
So this is a family unit,
Absolutely.
parents and children.
Yes, but we definitely like to focus on our youth because I don't buy into the propaganda that we're losing our youth. I just don't believe it. I think that as adults, it's our commitment, our job, and what we need to do is commit ourselves
Absolutely.
more to them. I mean, you can't say we lost a 12-year-old. That's just not possible in my eyes. I just feel like me, Kendrick, we can all do something different today. And if that means I need to take a $10 bill, and we believe in group economics. We just believe that, hey, if he needs $20 and I only have 10, I'll just call Kendrick and get the other 10.
Absolutely.
And now he has $20. So scholarships, education is expensive now.
Yeah.
We want these communities to realize though that they can help their children in those communities.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it may cost more than they have, but
Yeah.
as a whole, we definitely can partner together with people and make that happen for a child. I just don't believe the propaganda that we're losing them.
You with me? I'm just like, that's not an option.
No, it's not.
We have to forget about ourselves and
Absolutely.
be giving. Make the sacrifice. That's what it's about. And you all know about this because you've served. And so
Yes.
coming back, you know how it is to strap up and to really make it happen.
Yes.
So if there's a problem, find a solution.
Absolutely.
Make it happen. I want to ask this question to you, Kendrick, because you talked about, coming from the family, sharecropper, then education been first. Coming here in the Golden Triangle area, what are some issues, main concerns that you see that you can address of some of the parents being, financially challenged or having discipline problems with their children that may cause them not to be able to be I guess you could say, the best parent that they could be at the moment?
Well, definitely with this generation, sometimes, parents, we're having kids at a young age, and a lot of times parents don't always know how to be that parental, provide that parental guidance because they're still developing in themselves.
Yeah.
And so, in partnering with a community organization like Project Impact, definitely, doing some type of parenting classes to help show parents, hey, this is how you join with your kids or your children, and how to help them towards their educational advancement. Finding out some of their strengths and weaknesses, because everybody have strengths, and then we have areas of growth. But just talking with your child, sitting down at night, finding out what their goals and what they, what do they want to, accomplish, and their kids finding out what their parents, wanted to accomplish, and by just having open dialogue, you empower your kids, to develop a sense of self, but you empower them to develop an identity that, hey, just because what I see in my area life is much more than that, and I just got to have a plan, and I connect the dots to that plan, and then I can reach any path I want, and my
Absolutely.
potential is limitless as long as I know where I want to go.
Wow.
And so we want to instill those type of values into everyone, and then by getting the community to buy into this process, everybody can share in the success of that individual when they go off, and then they come back to their community, and then they give back, and you continue to have that spiral around in a circle, and each year you have someone coming back and giving, and you pull somebody else out of their community, and you are part of their success as well.
That's awesome. We're better together.
Right.
The team, I say this all the time, the team makes the dream work. But we have to, once again, stop being individuals and come together collectively. What are some other projects that you all have collaborated with in the area where you've seen it work? I know the Back to School Bash is something huge that you all do.
Yes, we partner with Emerson Family Center in Starkville. It's their program. They do a wonderful job with it, and we wanted to just be a part of giving back to the community. So when we gave them a call, they were excited about our effort and our excitement and our energy that we wanted to put in it. So we started this backpack drive, and the first year we've only been we started last year in July. So it was kind of a let's just see what we can do thing. And in less than 24 hours, people donated enough for us to buy 100 bags.
Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely. So this year we decided we were going to do 200, and in less than a day that was done. So we just decided to open it up to let's just see what can happen. We only gave ourselves about a week to do it. So in less than that week time, we had about 400 backpacks. We donated that in the Starkville area, so we're looking forward to doing that next year, and our goal next year is to just try to do 1,000. We feel like let's just keep growing and getting bigger, but we feel like a child who has the necessary tools to start a year is just important. Just we look at big things sometimes, but sometimes he just needs something to tote his pencils and paper in. To start the year, so that was a wonderful thing that we absolutely love. That it has.
And that's a blessing too, because that's frustrating as a child. And I think sometimes we miss it because we feel like every child has pen, paper, notebooks, and you go to school and you say, "Man, I wish that I had something to write with." So you all saw the need, and you actually met that need. But the community helped you; they collaborated. And I looked at how you said you started with 100. They gave. Then what was it, 200? And he's like, okay, let's see.
Let's keep going.
And you end up with 400. So I'm going to say, go for 1,000, 2,000. It seems like the more that you increase it, that God is touching the hearts of the people. So don't limit yourself.
And we won't.
You just never know.
And we did 3 locations this year, I believe. So we went back to the Delta in our hometown and did one, and we did one in Greenwood, Mississippi. So it was a wonderful pouring out of support for this organization. And I just think people like to see positive things. It's just not often enough to me that we see these positive things. So we just want to broadcast it. We want to show it. It's not for us at all, but we want people to. You see so much negativity, so let's show them some positive things, and that's what we're about. That's all we care about.
That's amazing. Is it a project that you all are working on now that you are in need of volunteers or someone to connect with you? Because I know the Christmas season is coming up, Thanksgiving season is coming up. Are you all projecting to do anything to help like the homeless or just families that are in need?
Well, we have we're planning for next year now.
Awesome.
We have. Giving Tuesdays is the day after, I think, Cyber Monday. So you have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday. And Giving Tuesday, we're going to do a campaign just to raise some awareness about education, but also to try to raise some funds so that we can sponsor some scholarships. One of our big programs that we're getting started is what we call Build Your Own Scholarship.
Wow. And
the theory behind it is that we want, companies give away scholarships, and that's great. We would love for them to continue that. But we're a community foundation, so we still enjoy the same analogy I gave earlier, that if I have 10 and he has 10, then this person has 20. So now, Build Your Own Scholarship. Tell us, how much you want a scholarship to give. Where do you want that scholarship to be at what areas you wanted to impact, and let's just name it, give
That's
it a
awesome.
logo, and we'll give you all the tools that you need to raise money for this scholarship.
Yeah.
And this is in your community. This is directly helping kids in your communities or your school. So my class is doing one, the class of 2000 at Riverside High School. We're going to do one, and we want to take back something to our school. So we'll start a scholarship. Our classmates will donate funds to it. We'll build a committee for it, and some child who needs it and who shows some aspirations of community service or whatever guidelines we put behind it, because it's a build your own scholarship. You can create it how you want to create it, take it to wherever you want to take it, give as much as you want to give, have as many people donate to it as possible.
I love it.
And take it back to your school, take it back to your community, empower some other youth, and give them that knowledge and that the guidance to say, hey, you can do this also. So we want to start a chain reaction of this type of things.
That's awesome. We're going to come back after this quick commercial break, because you said something that just really sparked in me a chain reaction. For those that are watching us on today on the Tammie Tubbs Show, we're here with I'm telling you, the fine gentlemen of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, and they're making an impact not only in the Golden Triangle, but in the entire state of Mississippi. And it's time for you too to make an impact. My question on today is, what is God really calling you to do? Have you found your purpose? Well, if not, stay tuned. We're going to push you and propel you to be about your Father's business. Stay tuned.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Shoulders, you raise me up to more than I can be.
Welcome to Creation Minute. I'm Eric Hoven. The Grand Canyon, 277 miles long, 10 to 18 miles wide, and more than a mile deep. That's impressive. In the bottom is the Colorado River. Some scientists suggest the Colorado River formed the Grand Canyon over millions of years. But take a look at these facts to see it from a different perspective. The Colorado River exits the canyon 1,800 feet above sea level. It enters the canyon 2,800 feet above sea level, and the top of Grand Canyon is 7,000 feet above sea level. So you tell me, did the river flow uphill for millions of years to carve out the Grand Canyon? Or is it possible that the Grand Canyon is the result of Noah's flood? To learn more about creation, visit us at creationminute.com.
Hey, we're back, and I'm so excited you're joining us on this morning. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm wearing blue, and when you look in the sky, that's exactly what you see. The heavens are blue and white. I'm going to stay there in that moment. As you can see, we're just excited to be making an impact, not only in our families and our communities, but the state of Mississippi and the world. We're going to the nations, and that's what God has really called us to do, to go ye into all the world. And that's what my brothers here on today are doing, and they're sharing. But there's a challenge, Kendrick, that we were talking about, because sometimes people don't believe that, scholarship monies are available to them. Can you just share some of the challenges that you all have had with scholarships?
Okay. This past spring was our first year giving back scholarships, and we gave about $5,000, a little over $5,000 in scholarships to the community areas in the state. One of the challenges we faced was actually getting students or children to apply for the scholarships. It was 5 different scholarships, and it took about up until the last week to get everyone to apply for, and we maybe had a total of 15 people that actually applied.
Why was it such a challenge to get them to put the pen to the paper to apply?
Well, and one of the things we do with Project Impact, we wanted to take a non-traditional approach to giving away scholarships. So instead of having them write essays, we actually came up with a platform where we ask a question, and the individuals get a chance to upload their question via, they record it and they upload it to our site. And based on their expression and how they answer the question, we had a group come together and judge it. And so maybe that process and having people to speak out and actually record themselves, maybe that had some of the drawback, and it caused some challenges because no one wanted to sound like they didn't have a good answer. And so maybe there was the hesitancy in actually doing the project, but we've already made some adjustments from there, and people are really receptive about it at this point, and we're gonna launch it earlier this time so we can get more feedback and we can encourage people to apply, because we really have some good scholarships, and so we really want them to take advantage of it.
Because one of the scholarships, I think, was named after one of our frats who passed away, who had made a great impact in the Starville area and a true man of God. I actually remember him when I was a little kid. Would you like to share the name of that one?
Jimmy Ray Lewis?
No, he's talking about the Curtis Bush Scholarship.
Okay.
He's been in the Golden Triangle area. He's done a great job, and so we wanted to dedicate something to his name because it was a great name in this local area. And I remember coming to school before I became a member of Phi Beta Sigma. You would always see him doing something. So when I became a member, he was just that inspirational guy who would just stop by and give you a tidbit, whatever it was that day. It could have been about the lawnmower or God, or
he was always making an impact.
It was an impact on something. So when we had the opportunity to give to name a scholarship after Curtis Bush, it was it just felt right, and it was something that I think people would support, and we're going to try to grow that scholarship this year. But to kind of caveat off what he was saying with the difficulties, we want to challenge our students still.
Absolutely.
We just don't want to. We aren't a foundation that thinks that we're just going to give you a free money or a free ride or anything, because life's just not like that. So we want to challenge you, but we want to also give you that platform to think through. Think through what's going on, current events, history. He mentioned his grandfather was just a great man, Jake Ayers, and his history. We want our children to remember what our parents and grandparents and those people who fought in civil rights movements or whatever that is. We want them to remember that. So we're asking them to think through those processes and think through what happened. And express that. It was a minute or 2 minute video. Tell us what you think about these things.
Isn't that amazing? They can get on Facebook Live, they
right,
can get on social media, they can get on, Snapchat, Instagram, and do it like it's nothing. But when it comes to education, there's such a challenge for them to just be able to communicate effectively.
We want the counselors this year. We're going to do more at the schools. We want them, the teachers and counselors, because this may be difficult, but it's important. So we want to reach out to the counselors at the schools, and we want to say, hey, this is what we have. We're offering these, your students. Guide them through these processes. Here's the checklist. This is what you need, and they may need to be taught how to do this, how to introduce themselves, all these important things in life that make a difference, just small things.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things we wanted to teach social skills. With our generation, part of the reason that we did the scholarships the way of uploading videos is because they're innovative and they like social media. And so we thought, hey, this is a great way to get a lot of feedback, but to get people involved. And the one thing that, like I said, I think we're missing is, with so much technology, kids lose the ability to communicate, to just form relationships or learn to introduce themselves. And so getting back to the basics and empowering them at an early age, will definitely be a part of leading those future leaders. But it's doing so much work. They're saying, hey, if they can do it, I can do it as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to have mentors, and you guys have been just awesome, phenomenal mentors in the community, MSU as well, and just being in the Golden Triangle. And I heard you say the Delta and Greenwood and different places. When you go back home, how does it make you feel? I mean, how are the kids receptive? Are you able to share your testimonies? How does it make you feel?
For me, I think it's I need to go back more. I think sometimes we're worried about becoming something first and going back. So I think for me, I'm making that next step to just go back now. So we started this summer, and I almost feel like I was waiting for something big just to come back home and share it, and I don't think that's necessary sometimes. But it's a growth process for yourself also. So as I grow and the more that I learn about what people's needs are and get out of my own space in my own head, I realize, hey, I can just walk back here. These kids are 20 years younger than me. They don't know anything about me. They just want some love and some care.
Some attention.
They don't remember anything about me.
But just be careful what you say, because they're going to remember the words that
absolutely.
you say. You said they will most definitely. How do you feel when you go back home?
I feel a lot of the same way. So much of my life started out with trying to accomplish things. And I went to the military. I accomplished that. I went to combat. I became an officer. I got my doctorate degree. And at some point in your life, it stopped. You stop focusing on what you got to accomplish, and you really start doing the work. And so the work to me is the easiest part. Now, the hard part was trying to accomplish it. Now it's just going back and inspiring other people to get to where you are. And then Brian mentioned my grandfather, Jake Ayers. His whole life, he fought for educational advancement.
Amen.
And trying to get equal funding for historically black colleges. And then he passed away in '85, and he never saw it come to fruition. And then in early 2000, it came to fruition.
Yes.
You got equal funding, but then the gap is now we have less children wanting to go to college to pursue their educational advancement. And so how do we plant that seed and say, hey, education and success is important, but you could be successful at doing anything you want. You could be a successful plumber, which requires school or requires a trade.
Absolutely.
You can be a lawyer, you could be a doctor. There's so many things you could be successful at doing, but we want to plant the seed and introduce what success is. It's not defined by your bank account. It's not defined by how much, what society say. It's defined about what makes you happy. And if you, leading your family in the way God wants you to lead them, and then you're inspiring the next generation. And so that's what we're trying to do with Project Impact. And, so far it's working out pretty well.
Wow. Where do you see it in the next 5 years?
Oh, we are dreamers.
You have to see it before you see it.
We're dreamers.
That's awesome.
We see people helping us help. That's our motto. That's our tagline. We see 1,000 scholarships being given out in Mississippi. We see people just at the beginnings of school years. We see students being able to walk in schools and have an opportunity to just start learning the day that they get there, the first day.
That's awesome.
We don't want them to have to wait till school may start on the 20th. Well, I have to wait till the 1st, or we don't.
It's already prepared.
We want to prepare it. We want to give it to you. We see kids being excited about learning. We see teachers being excited about teaching. But most of all, we see the community excited about giving back to their own community.
And that's what it's about. I just want to take this opportunity, as time is quickly approaching, to thank you all for giving scholarships to our Man Up conference that I held. It was awesome. Nicholas Foster and KJ, we call him Kenneth Spivey, they are still celebrating right now. So from our hearts to yours, we just want to say thank you for impacting those young men and the million of young men that were there. It was so many from across the state. I was just like, where did these guys come from? But they were hungry.
It was great.
So I'll offer my services. If I can be of assistance, here I am. We're a blue and white family always. Well, you guys, guess what? My time is up. I love you all so very much. Remember, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And until then, be blessed.
Living in this world ain't easy. It can seem hard sometimes. Sometimes people don't feel me, and it's hard to find a peace of mind. But I am more than a conqueror.